All right, this is the FSA Writing Review number 3 for my 7th and 8th graders, and we're going to go over some reviews and tips on what we can do for our test. So welcome. Thank you guys for being here. I will have the recorded version available later on this afternoon if you want to play it again or if you missed anything. Let's start with, when is the FSA? So your FSA writing guys, tell me, when is it? Wednesday, Monday. You're right. My 7th graders, it's Wednesday. My 8th graders, it's Monday. So make sure you know what day you're coming in to take it. 7th graders, Wednesday, April 4th, arrive at 12:30. Is computer-based for is test, Test starts at 1:00 p.m. Test is 2 hours. 7th grade is paper-based. 8th grade is April 9th, and that's a Monday, and 8th grade is computer-based. Okay. All FSA, FCAT, EOC assessments are administered at the Lee County Public Education Center. Students enter and exit via the north entrance. So make sure that you're on the north entrance. That's the entrance where we do the first days of school. Okay, and you do need to have a parent come sign you in and sign you out. Okay, so let your parents know that they have to come into the building to sign in and to sign you out. Okay, please be there by 12:30. Justin, good question. Yes, bring your Chromebooks. And make sure your Chromebooks are charged. So 8th graders, 7th graders, don't bring your Chromebooks. 8th graders, bring your Chromebooks, make sure they're charged. Okay. Do you need to bring anything else? You need to bring a pencil. You need to bring your Chromebook for 8th grade. Pencil, Chromebook, the phones. You can bring a book, and we're going to go over that. Remember, besides any phones and everything will be shut off and put in a bag and put on the side of the room. Okay, because you can't be on technology during the test. Except for your Chromebooks, 8th graders. Okay. So let's go over this again. This is a review, guys. This third one is kind of a review. Make sure we go over any questions that you have to help you. Jack, yes, you can bring a book. If you finish early, you may be able to read. Okay, but no electronic books, paper books. All right, so let's talk about, and remember guys, if you have questions at the end, I'll be more than happy to help you out with those questions so you can hang out. But let's talk about what's going to be on the test when we get in there on Wednesday for my 7th graders and Monday for my 8th graders. So the ELA writing test consists of one text-based constructed response item. Students read a variety of text and respond to a prompt in an essay. So that's a fancy way of saying that you'll get a couple passages to read and you'll write an essay based on the passages, based on the text. Right? It will be informative, explanatory, or argumentative. Okay? Practice tests are available. And thank you, Fino. You put those in the chat box. I appreciate that. So hopefully, since this is our third review, that you guys have looked at the website for the FSA assessments and at least looked at those, hopefully done a practice test. Please make sure that you do that between now and when you test. Okay, and 8th graders, they do have the computer-based sample, so you can see how it would look on your Chromebook, and I would suggest that you do that too. Planning sheet. Before you begin, your test administrator will give you a planning sheet that you may use to take notes and plan your writing. Your test administrator will collect your planning sheet at the end of the test session. While testing, make sure that your planning sheet is not easily visible to other students. Okay, so this is the thing that I want you guys to know. I strongly suggest that you do your planning sheet. No, it's not graded. But one of the things that is graded is your organization. Okay? by planning, you will be able to organize your writing a lot more. So I think it is a good idea, and I highly suggest that you do your planning sheet. Okay? You can make a list, you can do a graphic organizer, whatever works best for you. And remember, the modules that you want to review are Module 2 and Module 6. No, planning is not a draft. Planning is writing down your ideas. Yes, Justin, there is a planning sheet still on paper for 8th grade. Okay, so planning is writing down your ideas, making a list, making a graphic organizer, doing something to organize your work. You did that for the essays that you wrote for me this year. Okay, in module, actually did it for the narrative too. So module 2, module 3, and module 6. Okay, smiley face if you're going to do your planning sheet. Smiley face. I don't know, Justin, there just aren't, unfortunately. No, Connor, you are not allowed to bring in notebooks. Okay. 7th graders, what you will bring in is a pencil, a book to read if you're done, and your phone, and then you'll put that away. 8th graders, your Chromebook, pencil, book to read when you're done. No, no broken bags. And a phone that we'll put on the side. Okay, and 8th graders, when you are taking the test, it won't allow you to access any other websites. Okay, so when you log in and you take the test, it doesn't allow you to access any other websites. Okay, very much like the STAR test, Justin. Okay, so let's go over some tips for taking the test. And listen, you guys, we don't do these reviews to stress you out. I want you to be comfortable. I think that you're very well prepared for the test. You have done the work. We've done a lot of work this year on essay writing. You know what you're doing. So I want you to go in and be confident and do your best. That's all I want from you guys, for you guys to go in, take the test, and do your best. Okay, so I don't want anybody to be stressed out or nervous about this. You know what you're doing. You can handle this. Just go in and do your best, okay? So I will not be testing. I don't test with you guys. You'll see me there because I'm testing other students, but I don't group test with 7th or 8th graders, okay? But you'll see me there, and you guys will do really well. So these are some of the things that I want you to know in taking the test. Read each passage carefully and respond completely to the writing prompt. And we talked about last week reading with a pen or pencil in hand. Make sure that you, and for my 8th graders, you can highlight. Make sure that you understand what the prompt is asking you. Your writing should show that you can organize and express your thoughts clearly. That goes back to that planning sheet. Make sure you're using it because it will help you organize. You're required to write your response in English. And I know that's kind of funny for some of you, but make sure though, guys, that, and this is in the directions, make sure that you write English. Is my voice is muffled? Okay. Is that better? Thumbs up if that's better. Okay, I turned up my volume. Thank you guys, I appreciate you letting me know. My computer must be tired Monday. Okay, so your writing should show that you can organize and express your thoughts clearly. You are required to write your response in English. Remember, this is a formal essay. This is not texting to your friends. So make sure that you're writing in 3rd person formal writing. Manage your time carefully so that you have time to read the passages, plan your response, write your response, and proofread, revise, and edit your response. You have 2 hours. That should be plenty of time to read the text, plan, write, and proofread. And guys, small things on proofreading. Make sure that every sentence starts with a capital. Make sure you have punctuation at the end of each sentence. Right? Look over your spelling. Do your best, and you have the time, so please go back and proofread. Jack, it will tell you, but unless, yes, plan on it, okay? Yes, Jack, there's things on my page chart to study. Okay, so let's look at the 7th grade sample prompt. And we've been working with this the last couple of times. It's no secret that sometimes great discoveries come as a result of a really big mistake. But are they always worth the problems they cause? Sometimes the mistakes lead to greatness, and sometimes they lead to disaster. Are mistakes key to making discoveries? Write an essay in which you take a position on whether or not mistakes are a key part of discovery. Use the information presented in the passage to support your points. Make sure to include information from all the passages in your essay. So you'll see that you're asked to take a position. So if you're asked to take a position, what type of prompt is this? Good, argumentative. You're asked to take a position that's argumentative. So you're arguing whether mistakes are key to making discoveries. And you want to make sure, what I would do when I'm taking this is I would underline what the prompt is. And 8th graders, you can highlight it. So you know exactly what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to write an essay in which you take a position on whether or not mistakes are a key part of discovery. And you can see that I highlighted it here in pink for you. But then you want to make sure that you use information from all the passages in your essay. So if you have 3 passages, you need to use all 3 of those passages in your essay. Okay, there's your text-based evidence. Let's see. Questions on the prompt. Let's look at 8th grade. Your town's public library is hosting an exhibit on pen names throughout history. You have been asked to write an informational article for the exhibit's display explaining why some authors choose to use pen names. Your essay should be based on the ideas and concepts found in pen names and literature passage set. Now, this doesn't tell you to use all the passages. I would, though. Try to use all of them if you can. And this is what type of an essay? What type of an essay is this? Explanatory, informational, yes. Informational, it says it right there for you. You're explaining or informing, good. And you can see it tells you, I highlighted it in the red, exactly what you're asked to do. You're writing an informational article for the exhibit's display explaining why some authors choose to use pen names. Okay, so it's right there. I would be highlighting that as I read it on the computer for my 8th graders. Okay, so this is what I want. Let's go over some tips as you take the FSA Writes. So get a good night's sleep and eat a healthy breakfast. 7th graders, that means Tuesday, you want to get a good night's sleep for Wednesday and eat a healthy breakfast. Actually, for you guys, it's more of a lunch because you need to be at the school by 12:30. So make sure that you eat lunch before you come. Bring a number 2 pencil and a book to read if you finish early. All electronics will be turned off during testing. Of course, that doesn't include the Chromebooks, guys, for my 8th graders. Take your time. You have 2 hours. Read the prompt first, then the articles. Why I want you to read the prompt first is so you know what you're looking for in the articles. So you can read with that pencil in hand or highlighting on the computer, and you know what you're looking for. Use the planning sheet. Write the essay answering the prompt and using text-based evidence. Yes, you can read the prompt before the articles, definitely, and then proofread. So you want to make sure that you proofread. And as far as bringing a book, you can bring one, but you might have to wait. You want to make sure that you do your best. Even if you're at a great part in your book, you want to make sure that you have the best essay possible. Okay? You're there for 2 hours, and I want you to do your best. Questions on any of these tips to remember as you take the FSA Writes? Okay. How are you guys feeling? Tell me with an emoticon, how are you feeling? Smiley face if you're good. Middle if you're middle. Frowny face if you're nervous. Okay, guys, you're going to do just fine. All right, I see a lot of nervous faces. You've got this. We did informational essays in Module 2. You did an argumentative essay in Module 6. So you've done this before. You will be fine. I have faith in you. Yeah, 8th grade does have a lot of tests. The good news is that this is the first one, so you guys should be fine. You've all done this before. You will be just fine. I have faith in you. And let's look at, I want you to go to your pace charts, guys. And see the top of your pace chart, because I put a sample essay that scored really well. So the highest you can score on this is a 10. So I put a sample 10 essay on your pace chart. 7th grade, go to 7th grade. 8th grade, go to 8th grade. And at the top in yellow, you'll see the FSA review videos. And then click on the sample 7th or sample 8th grade essay. Okay, so everybody click on the sample essays now. Okay, everybody's looking at the essay. You'll see that you guys, when you read these, that you can do this. This is what you write in your essays. Okay, this is what it will look like for my 7th graders. You'll get the 3 pages to write on. So you can see that the writing is very neat. Okay, they use their transitions. 7th graders, I'm not a huge fan of that introduction because it's first person, but they did score 4. I know. Okay, so that's a 4. So for my 7th and 8th graders, those are 4s. I wanted you to look at those. Oh, they're 4, they're 10s. Okay, that's an example of the top score. Okay, so that's what you are all capable of. So you should all be aiming for that because you can all write like that. Okay, what else do we notice when we look at those essays? What else do you see? Don't worry about passing, Jack. Just do your best. I notice the transitions. I notice that I can read the writing. What else do you notice when you look at those sample essays? Okay, it's not in the 3rd person. Yes, we discussed that. And that's okay. You can just skim through. Well, it depends on what pace chart you're on, Jack. Does look professional. The writing's high level. That's fine, Faith. And I want you guys to go through and look at this. That's why I posted it. So this is what you should aim for. That's the top score. Notice that they put time. Okay, there's time and effort. This was not just done quickly. There's time and effort put in these essays. So that's what I want you guys to do. Okay. Now, Connor, that's a really good question. It scored on introduction, body, and conclusion. It scored cohesively, so it's how the essay overall looked. And if you look on the FSA websites, it also has the rubrics, and we went over those on the module on the 2nd review. So you can look, it is scored on your conventions, that's your spelling and grammar. It's scored on your organization and your writing. All right, guys, what questions do you have?